Well, good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching the Wise Morning Coffee Chat Show. It is Labor Day, and I see people are up and at 'em. There's already 3 viewers, so good morning.
All right. Good morning.
To everyone that's watching. Now, remember, if you are watching, feel free to share us where you're watching from. Also, if you are watching from our community group, make sure to go to the link that's in the chat just to give them permission to show your name. But first and foremost, my name is Jennifer Sanchez. I'm the founder of the Women's Institute of Self-Development Efficacy, and this is our morning coffee chat show where we bring on main members, alumni from our community to be co-hosts, as well as highlight other amazing women from our community. But today is me and just our awesome Maria Paloma, who has been around our community since day one. I want to say you've been around for 4 years. I just realized it's like we're hitting 4 years.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
who I am. Who are you, Maria? Introduce yourself.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maria Paloma, and definitely I've been in this community for a while, and I love the growth that I'm seeing. I love to be involved, and thank you for inviting me today. So I am a full-time classroom teacher, so I have the day off today. I said, hey, let me jump on with you. So I'm here bright and early. I'm also a yoga instructor, and I teach yoga en español in my community. And I'm also president of the Fig Factor Foundation. I'm going to start saying that more often. I usually don't say it, and Jennifer's like, "Oh, you're so humble." I'm like, "No, it's just I don't know. I don't know." But the Fig Factor Foundation is a great organization. We really try to help young Latinas ages 12 to 25. So if you know anybody that's interested in mentoring or receiving mentoring, or if you want to get involved with us as a mentor, that'd be great. And we can post that information in the link. But and I am an entrepreneur as well. I started a business. I've always had a business of sorts, but I've never really full blown grown it. But now this one I'm really really serious about. I became a state certified financial professional. So I'm super excited, and that was one of my goals during cohort 5 here in the WISE community. So testimonial right here that the coaching works. It really pushes you. There's the accountability factor, but more than anything, it's just feeling good about yourself and surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are just passionate about something, and then you are just driven to accomplish those goals. So big thing. Yeah,
Amen.
absolutely.
Yes. Maria, you're awesome. Maria does a lot. Like she does a lot. Since I'm so proud and happy that you're part of this community because you inspire a lot of ladies. You do. So everything from yoga to the finances to you rock. So just putting that out there.
Thanks.
So for those that are watching, let us know. We're going to go into our main part of the show, which is probably one of my favorite parts is coffee time.
Yeah.
Um, and coffee time really is just, see, I guess this idea started because many times, like me and you, Maria, if it wasn't for COVID, we'd probably be like, let's go get a cup of coffee and chat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we were doing pre-pandemic. I missed that. So I said, well, why not have a show where we're always talking? We get together, we make sure everyone has a cup of coffee. And I'm a big believer that the way you drink your coffee says a lot about who you are. So, or if you don't like coffee, tea,
Mhm.
whatever floats your
Mhm.
boat, right?
Yeah.
So what are you drinking, Maria, this morning?
I drinking my usual Costco Kirkland brand, but I chose one of my favorite cups here. I have several favorite cups. I get sad when I break them, but this is, the Fig Factor Foundation cup, and it's nice and sturdy, and it's nice and big, and it keeps it, hot for a long time. So that's
Nice. That's a great logo too. I love the Fig
Mhm.
Factor Foundation logo.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. The leaves, the
Mhm.
colors. So, but what kind of coffee are you drinking again?
I used to drink Dunkin', and then they had us, one day I was at Costco, they had us tasting their brand. I was like, oh, this is pretty good, and it's much cheaper. So that's what I drink.
And you
Kirkland.
buy in bulk.
Yeah,
Costco is
yeah, nice big bag. Hmm.
yeah. It's dangerous to go into Costco. It
Yeah.
really is. You go in and you're like, I just want three things, right? Or four things. Like, I
No.
know exactly what I want, where it's at. But then you see something else and you're like, oh, but I need this. I
Oh,
don't know if that's happened to you. Oh, I
no.
want that.
I have a feeling they've strategized against us because they move things around. You're like, wait a minute, that used to be here. Why do I have to walk across the store? Because they want you looking. So that
Yeah.
I know, dang it, they got me again.
You're right. You know what? I just went in there to look for, you know how sometimes they give you the restaurant coupons or they
Okay,
give you like the water park stuff. Like they have like a whole display
right.
of it.
Yeah,
Why did nobody in the store know where they were at?
yeah.
I'm walking around like, where are these coupons? I know they're here.
Walk around the entire store. Yep.
So I walked around the entire store and it was right in the front by the register, somewhere where I never thought they were gonna be.
Yeah.
And no
Hmm.
one knew. No one knew. They were like, oh, we just moved everything
Yeah.
last night. I was
Yeah.
like, really?
They do that every couple months. I'm like, man, they got me again.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Um,
what's this? Oh, what's this? Yes.
yeah. Or trying to avoid that internet guy. What is it internet or AT&T? You know what I'm talking about. For those that go in Costco, you're walking in and you see the AT&T or internet guy, you're like, oh, like walk this way. Don't make eye contact.
I know. I always feel bad because we have Comcast, it's AT&T. Hey, you have AT&T? Yep. Are you good with it? Yep. I'm like, oh, sorry. Little white lie. Little white lie.
Yeah, no, just that they don't bother you, right? I get it.
Don't want to.
So for those that are watching, let us know what kind of coffee you're drinking. I'm actually drinking Walgreens K Cup brand this
Oh,
morning. I think it's called like the Morning Rush. They're the little yellow ones. And you know what I was taught by another woman in the community, Sarah Martinez. She said the lighter the coffee, the stronger it is. So like if you get blondes, those are actually stronger. And I didn't realize this than dark roast. See, in my mind, I always thought dark
yeah.
stronger. I
Interesting.
just I
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
know.
know that either.
But she actually takes her coffee grounds and grinds them and
Mhm.
then cooks it. So she says like the more cooked or the more cooked, I forgot. But basically as long as you stick to blondes, it's a stronger coffee. That's
Oh,
what I do remember.
wow.
So it is like a blonde type coffee that I'm drinking right now because I need the strong stuff this morning. So that's exciting. And then of course I'm drinking it in my Create Your a Life You
Oh,
Love cup.
beautiful. Love that.
Since we're big believers about creating the life that you love. And then for those that are watching, we always got to make sure to show some love to
Mm,
cafeamalove.com. They are a partner with us and they sell amazing coffee, and all the proceeds from the coffee go to programs in Puerto Rico for women and children to learn about finances and entrepreneurship. So great organization, you guys. Um, so let's go into our topic since let's go into a fun topic first. How about that? Let's go and let's lighten the mood up. The
yes.
sh- the shower debate. The shower debate. So maybe some of you guys have been following, so, maybe you have not, but there is a debate on uh, through celebrities. It's more of a celebrity debate, to bathe or not bathe. So a lot of celebs are saying like, hey, I don't shower. Maybe some of you guys have heard it. I don't shower. And some are like I think Cardi B, I think The Rock, um, Aquaman, they were like, no, we shower every day. But then there's some celebrity like Ashton Kutcher's like, we don't give our kids baths until we see visible dirt on their faces. That's what that's how it sparked it. I think it was Ashton Kutcher and his I forget her name. She's also um she's a Russian actress. They said they don't shower their kids until they see dirt. And then other celebrities were like, what's up with that? No, we shower every day. And I just wanted to bring that out there. I was wondering, like, I wanted to take this into a whole different conversation, Maria, to be honest with you, on the racial. Okay, I'm just, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear
Okay,
me out.
okay.
Okay. I thought to myself as I started listening to all the comments, like Mila Kunis. There we go. Thank you. Duh. Who is Mila Kunis? I know who Mila Kunis is. Thank you.
Mhm.
Facebook user. I'm assuming you're through the group, so make sure you click that link to chat.restream. Give them permission so I can show your name or write your name so I know who you are. So, is it acceptable for minorities? Let's say someone that was of a minority, brown, black, said, I don't take showers every day. I just want to ask this question. Like, I just thought to myself, like, and I'm not trying. I know I'm not trying to make it a race thing. I'm not, but it just start got getting me. I was started thinking like, and that time I was in a cultural class. I was in um oh, I forgot the title of the class, but I was learning about cultures and counseling, right? So race was in my mind a lot because of what the literature we were reading. So when I heard the spark, I said, would it be acceptable for a Hispanic or black person, black celebrity to go and say, I don't take showers every day? I don't know. What do
Yeah.
you think? Because Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, I love them. I mean, I love them in their show and everything.
Mhm.
Nothing towards them, but I just thought it was more acceptable for them to say it, and no one really said. I didn't hear a lot of backlash. Other celebrities said like, "No, we shower every day," but the
Mhm.
ones that said we shower every day are minorities.
Mhm.
I don't know. That just kind of struck me because it was The Rock, it was Aquaman, and it was Cardi B, who are all three minorities, and then Ashton Kutcher, and So I just
Yeah.
want to put that out there and get some debate. What do you think, Maria?
Yeah, that's interesting. So, first of all, I had not heard about it until you mentioned it here. And my first response was not even the racial part of it. Is like, we're in a pandemic. You got to be clean. You know? So, I mean, as a parent, I know, my kids are older. My oldest is 26, my youngest is 21. But as a parent, when they were young, I let them play outside and in the dirt but of course, when they came in, from outside, it was wash your hands, eat, with clean hands and stuff like that. But I know people who go to the extreme where it's like everything is sanitized, everything is so clean, like don't eat with your hands. So I think that's an extreme because you need to have those, you need to be exposed to the germs and bacteria so that your body can get used to it, right?
Yeah,
So that there is that time and space where it's okay to get dirty and it's okay to possibly ingest a bad thing or two because your body will fight it. That's what
of
your body does.
course.
That's what your
Yeah,
body does. But then going to the extreme of not showering for days, I don't know that I would do that. you know.
yeah,
So there's definitely there's got to be like a middle ground there where don't wait until you see dirt because they may not necessarily be there because they're sweaty, right? So maybe the dirt will wash off if they're sweaty, especially the hot summer day, right? So
yeah,
and so you also want to have that cleanliness because your skin is a living organ.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you need to protect it also. That's why you might have breakouts or rashes, things like that, because there's too much clogging up your pores. So, I don't know. I just think not even racial or anything like that. It's just like, how are you taking care of your body is
yeah,
more than anything. And, internally and externally. Because, yeah, you need to teach your body to fight these things internally, but also the outside, your skin is a living organ. So,
yeah.
you
Well,
take care of that.
I've also read, and I don't know, Maria, were you I know your kids are adults now, but were you the mom that's like every day you need to take a bath? Were you that mom when your kids were little?
I think
Or
it's I think more the summer. I think the summer is more when I was like, you need to take a bath because you've been outside all day and you
and you've
smell.
been sweating. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure. Cuz I think sometimes even I remember like when I first started with my kids, my oldest, my mom would be like, "You don't have to give them baths every day. You could do every other
Right,
day."
right, right.
You know, because they're little, they don't
Yeah.
smell, right? Like they have like
Oh, they smell.
oils. Well, we're talking about babies. Like it was
Okay,
a
yes, babies know. Babies know.
babies know, right? But they definitely will smell, right? So then I started thinking, like I did read that some experts say you're not supposed to shower every day because then those protective oils
Right.
that are on your skin come off, and then that's when you get like dry skin, you
Yeah.
get oily skin, you get dead, or for those that struggle with hair, oily hair,
You're right. Yeah.
you know.
And even those are there for a reason, you know, those are
Mhm.
there also to protect you and to I mean, I'm not a professional in that area, but I'm sure that there's a reason for them to be there, right? Like you said, it's a protective layer too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to. I thought this was a fun conversation. I
Mhm.
haven't seen. If you
Yeah.
guys are chit chatting, I do not see them. Um, they're not coming up, but definitely make sure you share and comment and share your opinion around that topic. But definitely, I thought this is
Yeah.
a fun topic. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. You know, I think Aquaman was like, I shower every day. I'm in like seawater every day or something like that. I guess because they're from Hawaii, or I think he lives in Hawaii, right? I think I don't even remember.
I don't
Um,
know.
if anyone's watching and knows where Aquaman's from, put it in the chat. I don't know where he lives. I think it is tropical. It is a tropical area, right? Because he's Samoan, right?
Right.
He's Samoan. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be somewhere, obviously, Hawaii or something like that. Um, so now we'll go into, so that was just like a fun topic. Since we're talking about the shower debate, and you were sharing, Maria, the whole thing about, right now the pandemic, it's I was actually just yesterday not scolding but reprimanding one of my daughters because she was touching her face and we were outside. Or and I don't know how many people are still kind of like super like conscious of, we have the pandemic, have some people gotten more lenient, but I was like, hey, why are you touching your face? We were just in the store, like you can't do that. So I wanted to like go into the fake vaccine card conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, so I heard on the news just a couple days ago, maybe early last week, that a woman trying to get on a plane or something. I couldn't remember if she was trying to go to Hawaii or leave Hawaii, something like that. And somehow the people, the airline noticed a typo or a mistake on her card. Something was spelled wrong. And just red flag went up and they did a little investigating and it turns out it was a fake vaccine card. And so she was arrested. And so that just was like, I knew it. I was like, I knew people were going to try to be doing that, because, the conversation about Lollapalooza and that they were saying they're going to be checking cards or whatever. And I was like, people are not going to just say, yeah, I got my vaccine, because there are people out there who don't want to get vaccinated. And of
Yeah.
course, that's your choice, of course. However, this is public safety we're talking about. It's not just about you anymore. Like, what is the overall safety of the entire world, literally, about getting vaccinated or not? And of course, just the vaccine in and of itself is a huge debate. But
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The vaccine in itself is a
just
big
the
debate.
vaccine, forget the vaccine card. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have the story here. A 24-year-old Illinois woman,
Yes.
like it had to be from Illinois. No, I'm just joking. Submitted a fake COVID-19 vaccine card to visit Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they spelled Moderna, Moderna, with Moderna,
Yeah.
Maderna. Ain't Moderna the IUD company? I'm just saying.
Got it mixed up.
Yeah, you gotta check your typos, you guys. I don't know where she was from, but I hope not Chicago.
Yeah.
Um, airport screeners found suspicious error. And I guess the reason why she did is because in order to bypass the 10-day traveler quarantine in Hawaii, you need to show a vaccination card.
Mhm.
And that it was through Southwest Airlines. So yeah, she got arrested and she had a $2,000 bond.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah, she's in custody. She'll be having a hearing this Wednesday. So, she was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of violating Hawaii's emergency rules to
Yeah.
control the spread of COVID-19. So, I guess even traveling, we got to be careful, right? Because you don't know what laws like. So we're having a retreat, right? Next
Mhm.
on this weekend. I
Mhm.
went into Michigan to look at what are their laws, revolved around COVID
Mm-hmm.
because it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if people are going to be traveling, they need to check.
Yeah.
They need to check the laws of what they're dealing with. I mean, who it's a misdemeanor, but still you got arrested and you're still it sounds like she's still in jail.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not surprised. I really am not, because this is the kind of world we live in, that some people are definitely going to try to bypass the law, literally. Um, but in terms of, like, you know, I think you had asked me a question like what I thought about even restaurants asking for it. I mean, airlines, of course, because you're going into a completely different area, and some states have been able to contain it better than others. So that's kind of understandable. But when you're in the city, in a city, whatever city you may be in, and the restaurants start asking for it, like, how do you feel about that? And I said, I'm okay with it because I'm vaccinated, so I can show my real vaccination card. I
Yeah.
actually laminated it because I didn't want it to get damaged or any information to be erased. And I also shrunk it, so I carried it like an ID in my wallet. So I don't know if they're going to be like, that's fake because it's little, but anyways, um,
Mm,
I am a classroom teacher, as I mentioned. I work with little people, second graders. They are not clean beings. Okay, they pick
mm,
their nose, they sneeze into their mask, they
mhm.
think they're washing their hands when they really aren't. You kind of have to make sure that they're washing their hands. So we have our protocols in the school as well, but still, like, I don't know how their families are
Yeah.
treating this. Are they being careful? Are they staying away from large crowds? Are they wearing their masks? Are they vaccinated? Are their parents vaccinated? So to me, it's, I'm taking care of me
Yeah.
as an individual, but I'm doing it to take care of my family as well. My children, my siblings are older than me. I don't want to be around them if I'm not vaccinated and potentially spreading it to them. Their
Yeah.
grandparents, so they have little babies at home that so it's like it's bigger than me. So I
Yeah.
want to be selfish and say, I'm not going to get vaccinated, but because it's not just me, I'm surrounded by many people that I care about and I love, and I want to protect them as well.
Yeah, I mean, I it makes total sense what you're saying, and again, if people want to get the shot and if
Right.
they don't want to get the shot,
Mhm.
I think with the whole vaccine debate, I'm kind of like, if that's what you choose, that's what you choose.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not my body, right? And I've been seeing a lot of like my body, my rights for the vaccine. And then we have this whole thing that's going on in Texas was the women saying my body, my rights. But it's like, no, you can't say that. So that is a whole conversation in itself.
Yeah.
Um, but let me show some comments here. We have Mary. Some people say if their kids go in the pool, they won't shower the kids. Well, it's chlorine. So I was a pool kid. I know, Maria, I see that your daughter used to be a swimmer, right? So you dealt with she was a swimmer in high
Yeah.
school. Um, I was in water all day, every day. I used to work in the pool. So it was like really showering now. I'm in chlorine
Yeah.
sometimes because of the smell,
Yeah.
but chlorine really dried the heck out of your skin. That's the
Mhm.
only reason why I wanted to like
Yeah.
shower to moisturize. Um, Mary says she went to Hawaii for vacation. I don't know who this Facebook user is. Good morning. Be sure to comment. So make sure to click that restream, that link that's in the comment section. She went to Hawaii for vacation. And then Nancy said, good morning on this awesome day. Happy Monday, lovely ladies. Happy Monday to you too, Nancy. Glad to see you here. So let us know what you're drinking, guys. Don't forget, this is the coffee chat show. So I want to know what you're drinking this morning. Um, but yeah, again, I'm not, I see the whole vaccination and I see people say, hey, my body, my rights. I respect it, cool, but I'm pretty sure it causes even more of a, like, I would, if I didn't get the vaccine, I would be ticked off if I had to go to a restaurant and show my vaccine card. Like, I can only imagine the outrage people are
Mhm.
experiencing. I get it. it's a hard thing. I guess
Yeah.
to me when I chose to get the vaccine, because I did drag it out. I wanted to observe and just
Yes.
watch,
Hmm.
like I'm gonna let everyone else get their shots. I wasn't really going out. I was still at home more. I was doing everything virtual. Like I just want to see how people react to the shot before I actually say I'm gonna get the shot.
Hmm.
And then I saw my spiritual mom. She got the shot, which who is Nancy Rivera, and I was like, okay, she got the shot. So I don't think it's like the mark of the beast or anything like that, right? Like because I know that was a whole thing about it too. And then I had to tell myself I'm just telling you the process of my thought process,
Right.
right? For those that are wondering, like what led you. And then I was reading different articles revolved around the vaccine. And one thing everyone was saying, well, the FDA approval thing, and there's a lot of research behind the vaccine because people are saying, how did it come up so quickly? Blah, 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 right? And I'm like, well, when I read this article, really research around COVID was since the 1930s.
Right.
It was
Yes.
a family with a chicken or something
Hmm.
about a chicken coop, got them
Yeah.
sick or something like that. So that's when that illness started. And as a
Hmm.
result, they've been studying this vaccine or this virus since the 30s. So
Yeah.
it's not like out of the blue moon, but a
Yeah.
lot of people have that impression. So when I read that, and then I started thinking, like, can you imagine being in the 1940s and getting a shot then?
Right.
With the
Yeah.
way medical technology is in
Yeah.
the 1940s to now. So that was my thought process when I was like debating on the shot. I was like, people back then took shots, and those shots still exist till now, like polio or whatever. Let's think of those. But nothing happened to them, right? And the technology back then was way behind than what it is now. So that was like my thought process when I got the vaccine. Then I said, finally, you know what? I'm gonna get it. And
Yeah.
I think some of you guys here were like, when are you gonna get your vaccine? I was like, I'll get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
it. So I got it.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the same boat, Jennifer. The vaccines started coming out, what, like maybe February, January, February, and
Mm-hmm.
people were like right away jumping on getting it. And I was the same way. I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna wait a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I waited, and then by the time I tried to get the vaccine, because at my district they actually secured a partnership with the high school and then the local hospital here. They were kind of giving us priority, but I was blowing it off and I was procrastinating. And then when I tried to get an appointment, I couldn't get one because it was just not available anymore. Like they were just filling up the appointments.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up when Chicago opened up that big, at the United Center, they opened up that giant facility. I jumped on that and I got in, and then like 15 minutes after I jumped on, they closed it and they said only Chicago residents. So I got really lucky and I got it. And then the second one was, whatever, in early April. But that was kind of late considering how many of my friends in the district were getting it. And even still, towards the end of the school year, because we went back into the classroom in January. um, we went out to lunch one day, and there was a woman in our group who had not been vaccinated, and so it was kind of shocking to me, actually, thinking, well, you're in the building and you're with kids and and you're not. But I didn't say anything, because that's her decision, right? But yeah, I
Yeah.
was kind of the same way, and I also did a little research and didn't realize that COVID's been around like forever. And that's the thing that people don't know because we don't hear about it. That's
Yeah.
in science, in the science community, that they are talking about that. And so that's why they were able to really rush the vaccine, because they already had a ton of information on it. And that's why it's COVID-19, because there's been other COVIDs.
There's other COVIDs. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. When COVID started, I remember I was like, look at your spray, your Lysol sprays. It said it fights COVID, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people didn't know that.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting, and that's one of those things that it's been around forever. That because you don't hear about it, you think, oh, how's that possible that they came up with it? It's kind of like when you hear about an artist that's like they an overnight sensation. they call somebody an overnight. Well, no, it's not really
Not
overnight.
really.
I've been working for like 20 years, and now you recognize me. That's not an overnight sensation. I've been working
Yeah.
for 20 years. So it's kind
Yeah.
of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is a great conversation. And we're not, again, this is not a
Mm-hmm.
pro or against.
Yeah.
I, at the end of the day, do you, whatever you feel comfortable with. I just thought that was happening. The idea of the fake vaccine card and this woman
Yeah.
got arrested for it. That was kind of like, whoa, it was a little like, let's share this and see what people think. So if you guys have any opinions on the story about the woman who got arrested trying to go to Hawaii from, through Southwest Airlines, share your thoughts on the comment. There's no right or wrong. You will not get attacked for your opinion because it is what it is.
That's an opinion.
Um, it's an opinion, exactly.
Mhm.
I don't take things personal. I don't trust me. We're good.
Yes.
Um, so uh, let's go into the back to school because I've been hearing a lot of people talk about how schools are closing down. Some schools are just closing down their classes. There's this whole debate. So we want to know, what are your thoughts, right, on this whole back to school? What's going on with you guys, right? Wherever your kids are at, don't share what school they're at. For protection for your children, but definitely talk about what's going on in the school system for you guys, because I for a second was like, I think we're doing pretty good, you guys. Like my school district, like I literally was telling somebody, like, I haven't heard anything about no COVID cases. Like my school must be really doing something different, right? Well, no. I realized the principal sent an email, said there are COVID cases, but
Mhm.
what they're doing is, if your child has not come in contact with that, then they'll notify you and make you quarantine or take the test, and like, let you know.
Mhm.
Um, but they definitely they definitely aren't closing down the entire school. So I don't know. You work in the school district, Maria. Share with us what's going on in your school.
Yeah, I think there's a huge debate, and I mean, I can only speak for my district, but I imagine it's happening a lot. Of exactly that. Like, if there is a case in a classroom, what do we do? Do we close down that classroom? Do we only, quarantine those kids, or do we shut down the entire school? So we know for sure there's 5 schools in our district, and we even have a dashboard on our main website that tells you exactly how many cases are in each school, and there's a date, a certain date range. There's how many COVID, actual COVID cases or contacts. I think I forget how they label it, but it's very, they're trying to be very transparent about it, and letting the public know that what's happening in the schools. So, and again, I don't know if this is happening in other districts, but we're actually testing our students at once a week.
Oh,
They're
really?
called
Wow.
test, yeah, and it's a saliva test. So
You guys
yes,
got resources, huh? No, I'm just I'm just playing.
I guess we do, but again, it's the public safety that we are talking
Yeah.
about. It's public safety. So, and then the vaccinated employees are eligible to get tested if you want to. If you are not vaccinated, you are required to get tested weekly.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Wow.
but the option is there that they're not forcing you to get vaccinated. But if you're not vaccinated, then we need to make sure that you're okay. And
That's
so
cool. That's
yeah,
actually, I like that. That's actually really cool. I think that's
I
the
know.
first. I haven't heard of schools doing that.
Me neither. And like I said, I don't know if any other in the area or in other states are doing it. And at first we were like, ew, kids have to spit into a vial. So it is kind of nasty. But
Yeah.
in the end, we don't do it ourselves. We have a team of um, nurses that come in from somewhere, and they handle
Wow.
it. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing that weekly for the entire
Wow.
school. So we have K through 5, and I think we have obviously they're probably doing it in the middle school too. So
I
that's
love that. I
yeah,
th- I think that's great what your school is
yeah,
doing. Like, I really like that your school is doing that because I haven't heard of schools doing that. But if your school's doing something different, share with us. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna share these comments real quick.
Mhm.
We have Mary. She said, "I'm drinking water now before I drink my coffee. Gotta get those 20 ounces in."
Mhm.
Nancy, drinking my coffee decaf with French vanilla. Yeah, is yummy. Then we have a Facebook user, and I saw right now through my phone. It's Bree. Good morning. Yeah, I have seen this. Patients have showed me theirs, and I tell them to destroy them immediately. I'm assuming she's referring to the fake vaccine cards
Oh,
because then she writes, it's not worth the fine
mhm.
and or jail time. It
For sure.
truly is not worth it. Nancy says, I personally think it's nonsense. Get the vaccine if you want to travel or just stay home. There are rules for a reason. We are teaching our kids rules, and adults are not any different. We are examples to younger generations.
For
That's
sure.
that makes
For,
sense.
yeah. Mhm.
Mary, my kids have been out twice already. Once because of her allergy, she was sent home and had to get the test, and then one for being in class with a student who had it.
Mhm.
Isn't that, and also there's something else going on in the air, right? Like you have
Yeah.
like mucus, you have allergies, you have like
Mhm.
all these other things, like especially if you're in an old school, right? Sometimes the dust, might get a reaction. And
Mhm.
like for example, Sophie, I know she's asymptomatic. She does not get symptoms because we all had COVID, and she was the only one that was like, y'all have COVID, I don't got COVID. Like she was running around like nothing. But when she went back to school, immediately her allergies kicked in and she got mucus. But she's always been like that since she was little. When she goes to school, she just gets really mucusy.
Mhm.
So it's scary.
Yeah.
Um, my daughter school is 100% open, but I'm curious to see how autumn and winter will go. It's unfortunate because the goal is to provide the kids with a sense of normalcy, but you can't control. Look at that, and I'm having trouble breathing. You can't control a next person's hygiene, especially since many, and I'm trying to see, patients I have seen lately that are Delta positive have also been vaccinated. You have to send your children to school fully covered with prayer and lots of vitamin C, D, zinc, and B12. Yeah, that's one thing that I was doing. Look, I was the person that was giving my kids vitamins every day. Every day. I was on it. I was doing the elderberry syrup. I was disinfecting. I was like, my husband couldn't come through the house. He had to take off his clothes from downstairs and then come upstairs. Like I was really on it. Then we all got hit with COVID in
Mhm.
May. So I'm now I do believe that we weren't hit as hard because how I've been boosting their immune system because it wasn't as bad as others, right? But still, if you when I feel like, man, I tried so hard and we still got it, right? Like, and we really don't know how we got it. So it's like,
Mhm.
try your best.
Yeah.
Try your best, right? Keep doing what you got to do. But I just want to share that experience with me. And after that, I was like, really, all that hard work. So I'm just sorry. I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
um, we have Nancy. She said, "My children's school has been open for 2 years. I'm also thankful that they got glass separators for all desks, air purifiers for each room, and if you travel, you need to quarantine. They have extra masks for the kids. If someone, let me see, because it cuts off here.
Mhm.
If someone in the class gets COVID, the whole class gets quarantined, and the sibling also gets quarantined. God bless and protect all kids." Yeah, I think the school's trying to do their best. I think it's just going to be a way of life, right? We're going to have to deal with COVID for a while. I don't think it's going to go anytime soon.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be part of life.
And I think that when it comes down to it, this is a huge lesson. We joke about showering and that, daily or not daily, but the bottom line is the cleanliness. It was very sad to see, even last year when people started leaving their houses, you saw those reusable masks all over the streets. Like, come on, people. It's like, this is your home. The world is our home, and like we need to take care of it. And so
Yeah.
the lesson here to me is like, so I tell people, now the kids have to actually wash their hands when they come into the classroom. They wash their hands when they go to lunch. That literally they want is using the soap and water, not just sanitizer. And I was, a lot of teachers are like, oh my God, it's going to take so long. And this is that. And I was like, I've been doing that the entire time I've had a classroom. I did that with my own students. As soon as it was time to go to lunch, I said, go wash your hands. You come in, wash your hands. And especially after recess, they would come in and I would have them wash
Did
their
you
hands.
wash hands? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just something I did as a normal thing in my classroom. So when the fall and winter hit, January hit, with everybody was, had like 4 or 5 kids out of the classroom, I would have one or two out of the classroom. I mean, I'm saying, I got to toot my own horn. I feel like I was really being cautious about that. And at the time, my mom was living with me, so I was ultra cautious to not get sick myself. I didn't want to bring things
That makes sense. That
home.
makes total sense.
I didn't want to be bringing things home. So I was really trying to do that. But now it's just a part of your
Life.
daily routine, and I don't, part of me doesn't like that people are like, oh, this is a new normal. Well, it should have been all along. We should have
Mhm.
been taking care of ourselves that way all along.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I don't know. I just was like that.
Well, it
My
makes sense for you, Maria. You were already doing that. So for you, were like, this is
yeah,
nothing. Like,
something, yeah.
I've been
Mhm.
doing this already. And I mean, as a parent, listening to that, that gives me comfort because I mean, sometimes parents can't teach their kids that if they weren't taught that, right? Like,
Right.
and I mean, I'm so happy to hear that. I know in CPS they were big when I was growing up. They were big on washing hands after, washing before. I don't know if it was just my teacher or they just made at least that school do it. But I do remember like, and even with my daughter coming home, like wash your hands, take off your
Uh-huh.
clothes, like do what you got to do. Like we
Yeah.
can't wash your face. You can't sit
Mhm.
there and bring what you got. You were out.
Yeah.
Come in
Yeah.
and change.
Yeah.
You know. Um, we have Mary. She said the bad part is that there is no virtual for the kids. They miss out on
Yeah.
lessons.
Yeah.
That does suck. And then we have, I'm thinking this is Bree. I just want to confirm that's correct. Boosting your immune system goes a long way. We encourage it a lot of my practice. Yeah, I
Mhm.
believe Bree,
Yeah.
you're a nurse, correct? Nurse practitioner.
Mhm.
I think she's out in Bree. Correct me. I think you're out in New York. Um, I wonder how New York's school system is. Before I switched to travel nursing, there we go. She
Mhm.
just answered my question. I was an OR nurse. I was totally flabbergasted at how many people were not exercising general hygiene and all hand hygiene. Why were adults not practicing hygiene before? LOL.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
deep comment. We have been
Mhm.
doing the same because we lost our son to a virus.
Mhm.
We lost our son to a virus. We
Mhm.
just didn't do mass yet. Wow. Yeah,
Right.
that's
Mhm.
deep. And I can only I mean, here's something I know not all adults practice. Okay, in my old job, you know when you work with a lot of people, you see people's hygiene practices. I'm
Yes.
just going to share this funny story, all right? The cleaning lady, the cleaning the cleaning lady. So we would go, we had a community kitchen and we had one of those scrubbers. It was like the long, like with the little brush thing, and you can
Mhm.
use them to like go inside cups and stuff like that. The cleaning lady, who was a much older woman, took that and I saw her going to the bathroom with it. And I thought to myself, that's the same tool that a lot of people
Oh
in
my
this job they
God. Oh my
use to wash their cups and plates.
God.
I followed her and she went straight into a bathroom with that thing and was cleaning the toilets with it.
Oh, Jennifer. Oh my gosh.
Do you know? Immediately I went to her supervisor because we had the engineer of the building. He was overseeing all the janitors. And I know she was an older woman. I think she was already in retirement age. She really didn't speak English. I was like, this is what she's doing, man. You know, and he was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go, tell her. But I was sitting there like, why would you do that? Like you could get, how long have you been doing this? Thank
So
God I didn't. I know I didn't use that utensil. I know I didn't because I always use like throwaway stuff, or I
yeah.
would always go out to eat. But
Oh
I
my.
saw a lot of people did use it, and I said that is so nasty. So just wanted to share that. Or people that you see that go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands,
Yes. Yes.
and you're like, you are nasty. No, just we have been doing the same because our son, because we just didn't do mass yet. Mary shared that. Many a times I have been in a bathroom and noticed women not washing their hands before they walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is pretty elementary. Like, wash your hands, go. Like, it's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Well, I always laugh at the sign, wherever you go, stores or restaurants, and it says employees must wash their hands. I'm like, no, scratch that out. Say everybody must wash their hands, not just employees,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, yeah, right? I know. We have a comment here. Kudos, Maria. Please keep doing that. I think it's also culture. Most Caribbean and Latino cultures have practice of
Mhm.
removing shoes, washing hands, and removing street clothes before settling in at home. That
Yeah.
is so true. And you know what? I know that a lot of Middle East and Asian cultures are big on not having outside shoes inside the house
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
because you're bringing all that dirt from the outside. You shouldn't be walking around in the house with shoes on. Like you
yeah,
need to take those off. So yeah, that's
yeah,
something that we should all practice.
yeah.
Some of us walk barefoot outside.
Yes.
Doing complete opposite what we're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing. I like earthing. I like gardening barefoot. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh my
I like
God.
gardening barefoot. I do wash my feet afterwards, but I like being barefoot. I
Mhm.
do. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like,
I'm scared of spiders, so I don't.
you don't know. I
No,
do.
spiders.
Maybe because we grew up with carpet, and actually my husband's complete opposite. He likes chanclas, so he's like
Mhm.
always in chanclas. Like, put on your chanclas. He'll tell me. I'm like, I like being barefoot. Like, leave me alone, right? But it's because that was something I grew up with, was like being barefoot, and we had carpet. We were
Yeah,
kids, so
yeah.
I don't know. That's a whole different debate. Chancla or no chancla. Uh, so then we'll go into our final discussion, wellness, since we're talking about. I like
Yes,
how all these topics flowed into one
yes,
another, right? They flow
yeah.
very nicely. Um, Wellness. Let's talk about wellness, and you had a great point, Maria, before we got on live. How people don't see wellness as an overall holistic everything approach. And I've said it too in some of my posts. People think wellness is just exercising and eating, and
Mhm.
actually it's totally more than that. Can you start the conversation off?
Oh, absolutely. And I think this is something that I also learned through my yoga practice. And it just, the books I read and even being in this community, like, we talk about holistic wellness. I think we've talked about it here in this community a lot. And through my yoga practice, the program that I went through had three components. The first one that we started with was transformation of self. It was like starting with yourself. That's, you got to see what's going on there, where we need to make adjustments. And then it was transformation of relationships. And then it was transformation of community. So that in and of itself was very holistic. And when I started the program, they told us we were going to be this was back in 2018. So we were in a giant gym in a CPS school. And we were there like from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I was like, how much yoga are we going to do? I'm going to be exhausted. Cause I thought yoga was the thing you do on the mat, that, like, I think most people, but yoga really is a philosophy and it's a way of life. And so we
Mhm,
learned a lot about the philosophy. We learned also about anatomy and doing the yoga correctly. And then also about how you approach your, excuse me, your relationships. And so
mhm,
then, along with all those things, I've been reading a lot about, wellness overall in your life. And exactly what you just said, Jennifer, people think, oh yeah, I eat healthy and I exercise, so I'm good. However, you need to look at other areas like your social and recreational things. What are you doing? And then how is your
Mhm.
professional life? Are you okay there? Are you happy and satisfied with your work? Or is that something that you need to make adjustments? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to change careers? I mean, some of those things
Mhm.
affect us, right? There are stressors in our
Mhm.
life constantly. Our
Mhm.
finances. How are our finances? Is this job that I have right
Mm.
now really taking care of me financially?
Mhm.
You have two or three jobs. I mean, there's people out there with doing that, right? And so
Mhm.
that's a huge stressor, right? How are your
Mhm.
relationships with your immediate family? The people you live with. And then how are your
Mhm.
relationships with your extended family?
Mhm.
The cousins
Mhm.
and the cuñados and the suegros, your in-laws. Like that is still part of your life.
Yeah.
What other areas? Then, of course, is your physical life. And then so much of it is emotional, right? So, yeah, you can say, oh, yeah, I'm happy with my job and my finances are good, but my relationship with my kids really stinks. Well, then you're not all good, and for us to have a holistic balance in our life, we really need to work on all of those areas. And I say work because it is work. We need to
Yeah.
sit down and think about why are these things happening, whether it's in my professional life, my finances, my relationships. Why are these things happening, and what adjustments do I need to make
Amen.
to find balance in all these areas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's
yeah.
that's that's a good way of putting it for people to hear. People just like you said, people just think it's eating, but it's so much more your relationships,
Yeah.
right? Your finances, right? One thing, you're making me rethink of like even our mission. You're making me even
Yeah.
right
Yes.
through my master's program also, like I've also been reading a lot and I said, wow, we are very involved in wellness as an organization,
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
But not just like the health component. I'm talking about like goals, setting
Mhm.
goals. That's a wellness component. Looking at our finances, relationship. Those are all wellness components. And I've been reading a lot of different theories revolved around wellness. So I just shared one image for in the chat if anyone is listening wants to look at it. That one caught my eye in my last class. It's called Maslow's theory, and basically what it is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. These are all needs that we need, right? This is a different theory. There's so many theories out there. But this specific theory is first, an individual will try to just meet their basic needs, right? Their first needs, which, if you look at Maslow's theory, it's physiological needs, food, water, warm, rest. Everyone first is there. Now, depending if you've met this need, then you're going to go to your next need, safety needs, security and safety, right? Making sure you have housing, right? Making sure that you're safe, all that. I'm pretty sure finances is a big component in the safety needs, right? Then you go into belonging and the love needs. That's another need that we have. That we have the esteem needs, and then finally we have the self-actualization, achieving your full potential. This is the kicker that got me as I was reading, and as I'm reading, I'm kind of correlating everything that we do in Wise with what I'm learning. And I thought to myself, women, if they understood that they need to meet all these needs before they get to their fullest potential, because then I come across women who struggle reaching their fullest potential. Everyone not everyone, right, can get to that point of I'm getting my this done. I'm reaching this. I'm soaring high. Not if you're still trying to fulfill a physiological need or even just a safety need. Let's say you're diabetic. Let's just say
Mhm.
that right there is just a physiological need. You're just trying to eat right, focus on your nutrition, and
Mhm.
then or what if you're between housing and you don't have a stable home, or
Mhm.
you're a woman in domestic violence and you're like you're staying between houses. You cannot fulfill or achieve those needs of self-actualization until those other needs are met. And when I read that, it kind of just clicked all together because I work with so many women, and Maria, you know, and if we're constantly just trying to get our needs met with relationships, physiological, our self-esteem needs, that's we haven't even peaked the top yet, you know? So I wanted to share that because I'm like, "Oh my god." Like it kind of just made all sense, and I think that's a nice, triangle for those that want to look at it. I put it in the chat, but
Mhm.
you know, when
Yeah.
and then I have women that take programs and then they stop, or they
Mhm.
get scared, or they back out, or they stop showing up. Or they stop showing up for themselves. And then I'd be like, what's going on here? Well, the reality is they haven't met those other needs.
Right.
They can't meet that I want to achieve greatness, the top, because they're still so focused on the other needs that they need to meet. And I just wanted to share that. I thought that was a great example of wellness for anyone. I just thought this is awesome. I love wellness now. I love wellness even more
Yeah.
now.
No, and that's and like I said, you know, when you practice yoga and you learn about the yoga philosophy, it's all encompassing and it's a lifestyle, and it really changes your mindset. It
Yeah.
really does. And when I correlated it with what you're doing here in this community, it was very parallel, very much, the same teachings and the same understandings. And then you start seeing people in a different light. Like I
Yeah.
did a part-time job at Binny's. I just left that a short about a month ago, but I would have customers come in and just in a really raunchy mood and like, just bad mood. And I would just try to be nice to them. And then other employees would be like, oh my God, that person's always like that. And I would say, you know what? Just give them some grace because
Yeah.
there's something going on in their life that
Yeah.
they are just not happy. And for them to carry themselves that way, it's very unfortunate and sad. But I'm not going to add to it by being mean or disrespectful or something to them as well. And I heard a speaker recently that said, when you come into contact with people, make sure you leave them better than you found them.
Mm.
Sometimes you can't because they're in
They're
such
so deep.
deep whatever issues they have, but just do your part. Just smile, be nice, be pleasant, you know. And some people don't like that either. When you're nice, they're just not nice back to you. But you just don't know what's going on with them. And
Yeah.
then as a teacher also, when you have a class of students, these are, for me right now, it's 19 individuals because I cannot deal with the whole class on the same level. They are 19 little souls that each of them comes with their baggage. And I don't know what's going on in their lives, but when they're in my classroom, I'm going to treat them with respect and, and help them wherever they are. And and I always have to keep, why isn't he reading? Why isn't he doing this? Why doesn't he do his homework? Well, maybe their family's dealing with these issues, maybe the dad is out of work, maybe there's abuse going on in the home. Maybe I have no idea. But when they're with me, then I'm just going to treat them this way. So
Mm.
if you kind of carry yourself like that when you approach people, people come into your life, I
Hmm.
think that, we might just make this a better place to live. Just keep that in mind that everybody's dealing with something.
Yeah. That is a good point. You told me that, and that's true. Like you want them to come to you and leave with a
Yeah.
better than what they were before, even if it's just a good morning, just being,
Yes.
hi, how are you? That in itself will change somebody's mood. And you're right. There are some people that just don't even want it. They're just so,
No, I
but
just don't.
that's not your concern, right? Your concern
Yeah.
is you do your part and
Yeah.
that's it. I like that example. So, and I think that's something that, we're going to take it to the retreat, that if those are still watching, you're contemplating the retreat, you know, I know, Maria, you're going to be our yogi for the weekend.
Yes. Can't
um,
wait.
we're going to do a lot of breathing meditation. We'll even do some, Christian meditation, centering prayer. Like I do want to also do some centering prayer. But it's really, it really is a big deal. I think if we're not getting these needs met, or we're not focusing on our wellness, how much more difficult is life going to be? Like,
Mhm.
I've heard people say, oh, well, I just went on vacation and I'm fully rested. It's like, no, that's not what a retreat is. That's not what a retreat
Yeah.
does. Like a retreat is not about, yeah, a retreat is not like a vacation. And I think that's a real false misconception a lot of people have about retreats. Retreat is to journal, to think about, reflect, no distraction. And I don't know about you, but when I go on vacation, I'm catering to people. I'm
Yes.
not
You're working.
resting. You're working.
You
So
need a vacation from the vacation when you come
yeah,
back.
that's a famous saying. You need a vacation from the vacation. So retreats are not designed, and there's of course different retreats with different
Hmm.
purposes. Ours is really a lot of, you know, reflecting, resting, rejuvenating, celebrating. I mean, there's a whole a work in progress that happens in one weekend. So I definitely am excited to have Maria you with us to help us,
Yeah.
really think about what we need to do. And it's going to be really therapeutic. And for those
Mhm.
that join us,
Yeah.
you're not going to get an experience like this. I'm just telling you this right now.
Yeah.
Um, if you miss out, I'm not even going to tell you what we did because it's just going to be that amazing that you're just not going to know. And you're
Yeah.
going to miss out on this experience that could change your life, right? Um, because
But
remember, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna. I love Liza's comment. She says it's a sabbatical. It definitely is a sabbatical, and you can pick up a book and read about how to make improvements in certain areas of your life. You can read about it, and then you close the book, and what happens? Do you actually go back and reference it, and you put
Yeah.
little stickies around the book and go, oh yeah, I got to read this again? Do you actually go back to it? Because I'm guilty of that. I've done that. I've bought books. I'm like, oh yep, I read the book. Yep, I know what to do. But when you are surrounded by, like I said earlier, like-minded women who are looking to make adjustments in their life, and notice I said adjustments, not changes, right? Because again, going back to yoga, I've said this before, that if we're people of faith, a lot of times we hear, your body is your temple, you need to take care of it. And when we don't, we've got that guilt. Like, oh, I had 3 glasses of wine instead of two. Oh, I didn't exercise. Oh, I whatever the thing is that you did that was not honoring your temple. So if we rephrase that and change the mindset and look at your body as your home, because we live
Mhm.
in it daily, minute by minute. And then think about, what adjustments can you make in the home? Maybe you rearrange the furniture. Maybe you change the paint in one room. Maybe you remodel. Maybe you move, right? You go from an apartment to a home, or from a home to an apartment. And then you make those adjustments, right? If you
Mhm.
look at it that way, you're always looking to make your living space better,
Yeah.
right? So then there's no guilt. There's no guilt in the, dang, I didn't do the laundry and I didn't put it away, or my laundry's still sitting. It's okay. You can take care of it tomorrow. It's
Mhm.
okay. It'll get done. So change your
Mhm.
mindset about that. Surround yourself with like-minded women who are going to support you, lift you up, and being there is, you cannot compare that to any other experience, like reading about it on a Facebook post or reading a book. You must be there to experience it, to live it, and
Yeah.
really take it in. I always tell my students, you got to hear it and see it for it to stick to your brain. so,
Yeah.
so I encourage anybody who's still kind of on the fence. I don't know about this retreat. Well, it could potentially change your life if you've never done a retreat before, and if you've been with us before, then you know that it's going to be fantastic. So
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Maria. Those are wise words. We have um some comments here. We have Nancy said, I agree with you.
yeah,
I agree, Maria. Love that. Oh, I just lost it. Sorry. And then I second you, Maria. Some people have so much going on. I do the same. Then we have Liza said a sabbatical.
yeah,
And then she said, there's no walkthrough of steps. Absolutely not. You have to do the work.
yeah,
Surround yourself with women who implement the changes, encourage you to do the same. Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest thing is some people need the connection, right? They need to connect spiritually, connect with others, connect with nature. I love nature, so I do
yeah.
that. And I really had, at the end of the day, I think if retreats in itself, if you've gone to different retreats, there is always a goal. There's always a transformation or an adjustment, like you said, Maria, that takes place. And I know that there's a lot of preparation. See, like you go on vacation, it's not like, oh, I'm going to go sit and lounge by a pool.
Yeah.
No, we actually work. Whether it's like it work but it's all about you. It's not like a
Mhm.
classroom environment. So I'm excited because there's going to be conversation pits. I'm super excited about that. You just don't know. I mean, and then right now I'm doing a lot of group therapy work for the classes. So I'm like, this is going to be one of those events that if you
That's awesome.
have this breakthrough that you need, that you're waiting on something, I don't know what, I know that this is going to be the event because I got a word. I got a word from God. So I know this retreat's going to be the bomb.com. So
Yeah.
register. Um, Today's the last day to register. So make sure that you register for the retreat, pay your deposit, and then join us on Friday. We even have the guest speaker. She's going to be phenomenal. I like the guest speaker because I love all my guest speakers. First off, I love all my speakers. That's why I pick them, right? Duh. But this guest speaker, she's going to talk about grieving from a physiological standpoint, which is what, and I know, Maria, you can appreciate that too, since you're always talking about the body and yoga. But there's a lot of loss going on. 2021, 2020 has not been an easy year for folks. Jobs, businesses closing down, and she's going to talk about what happens in our bodies with grieving, with
Yes.
any type of loss.
Mhm.
So, and we're looking to get healing from that.
Mhm.
So, I'm excited. And then, we're all, we love prayer, we love God. So, it's just going to be a good time. And I'm 100% sure women are going to leave refreshed and ready to take over the world as always. Um, we have Liza. She said yes. So, do you have any final words, Maria? I know we're going to wrap up.
Yeah, just one last thing. And you mentioned this earlier that a lot of times, people come into this space and they start doing the work and then maybe they drop off or they stop or, and it can be scary. It can be scary to go inward. And that's, where you need to be a little bit vulnerable and open yourself up. And I can guarantee that this is a safe space to do that. The women in this group, whether something comes out, it's confidential, right? And it stays within the group, but when you open yourself up to that vulnerability and a lot of people see it as a weakness. Like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to make myself vulnerable. It's too scary. Yeah, it's scary. But again, that may be where the transformation occurs, where that aha moment, like, oh man, I never thought about that. I never thought that I could do that to fix this thing or to change this thing. So vulnerability is not a weakness at all. It's actually more of a strength for yourself to open yourself up to that possibility of a change is really, and I get that from Brene Brown. I read a lot of her books. So she talks
Mm,
a lot about vulnerability, and she's actually very big on helping leaders, and she's talked to leaders of all kinds of organizations. She's even talked to leaders in the military where they also talk about vulnerability within that space. So if you can imagine, she's talking
mhm,
to these people who will go out and expose literally their lives. They put their lives on the line. How much vulnerable can you get? So think about that as an opportunity for making adjustments. And we are here to help you. Of course, I know personally, I'm not a professional psychologist or anything like that, but I've been around the block for a few times. So I know a thing or two, and I can attest things that I've gone through, that hopefully, that might help you or inspire you as well too.
yeah. That's why you're a mentor, Maria,
Yes, I'm a
because you
mentor
can
here.
mentor.
I'm a mentor. I'm not a professional psychologist or anything, but I'm a mentor because I've gone through the program and I love this community and I love helping people. So
Absolutely. So take advantage. We want to encourage women come to the retreat, connect with nature, connect with other women, connect with the spirit, with the Holy Spirit. We're excited for the retreat. I'm excited for the retreat because it's going to be amazing. There's going to be the beach. We're going to have the classroom environment. We're in cottages. We're
Mhm.
going to have a banquet style dinner with our guests as the honor, our guest of the night. You're the one that we're going to be catering to. So we're super excited about this event. And I know, it's funny because I was just having a conversation with my husband and I told him, it's like every year it's never the same.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
that's good.
it's
Mhm.
not, it's different. So you
Yeah.
can't go to it and be like, oh, I've already
Mhm,
experienced Jennifer.
mhm,
No, you have not. Because
mhm.
um, one of the biggest things, I'm always growing, I'm always learning, just like you, Maria. I think we are lovers of learning, and I don't think I'll ever stop learning.
Yeah.
And that is something that you want in a leader. And even leaders, your leader should submit to someone,
Mhm,
your leadership needs to submit to somebody
mhm,
for
mhm.
their own pouring. So I'm excited because this year I'm really using what I'm learning in my master's program for the retreat this year. So it's going to be a whole different experience
That's
that
great.
women are going to get. So I'm
Great.
excited.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Yay. So thank you so much, Maria.
Yes.
Um, do you need to promote anything, Maria, and with the ladies?
Well, Jennifer and I are in conversations about me going live at some point in the next couple weeks, maybe even tonight, I think. I don't know.
In our
But
membership
look
community,
out
yeah.
look out for that somewhere along these Facebook streams with some more goodies. And what else? Yeah, so I will post the link to the Fig Factor Foundation. You can check out our website if you are interested in maybe becoming a mentor or supporting us through a donation, or even if you know a young lady between the ages of 12 and 25 that might be interested in our mentor program. So I'll put that link in there.
Yay, sounds good. Very exciting. So make sure you guys follow us. Check out the events. I'll also put the link to the retreat. And today's the last day to register for the retreat. If anyone's thinking, make sure you guys sign up, put that deposit. And we will see you guys
Yes.
next Monday and we'll tell you all about it. No, not really.
Tell
Bye.
you a little bit.
Tell you a little bit. All right. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone watching. God
Have a
bless you
great
guys.
day.